Hi, Ophelia. How you doing?
Hello, very well, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Can you tell us a bit about Mr. Popper's Penguins?
It's a film about Mr. Popper, who is a real estate agent, and he has become too obsessed with his work, and he's forgotten what's really important, which are his children and his family. And then his own dad, who is an explorer, sent him a crate of penguins, from his will, and he has to accommodate these penguins into his kind of mad, busy life, and they remind him of what's really important.
It's very sweet, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And this is actually your first children's film, and you play a understated but over the top, if that makes sense, character called Pippy. How did you find this experience?
I loved it. It was
Yeah.
like I know what you mean when you say that, because she's kind of a ridiculous character, but she's still within the realms of possibility. You kind of take it. You just believe it the way she speaks like that. It doesn't become too much of a caricature. And I loved doing it. It was yeah, like you say, it's a children's film. I've never done one of those before, so I got to kind of be silly.
Yeah, and Pippy really likes P words. How many takes would it take you to nail the scene?
It really didn't take that many.
Get out!
No, because they stuck in my head, and you could be really exacting about it. I mean, sometimes there would be occasions when it wasn't so much that I couldn't get the words out, but that I would say it too quickly because I'd practiced and practiced so much to make sure I could say it. The words became indistinguishable, so we'd have to do it again because I spoke too quickly.
Well, it was almost like I was watching it and I was thinking it's almost like a tongue twister.
Yes, they're all tongue twisters.
Now, what was your reaction when you found out you were going to be working with Jim Carey?
I I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was actually at a wedding at the time, and I had to keep my excitement down because it was their day. So I literally went off into a field. It was in Ireland. I went off into a field and kind of screamed and came back again. I was like, congratulations. didn't really want to say anything because it wasn't, yeah. So
Fair
they
play.
didn't
Fair
find
play
out for
to you.
weeks.
I would have told everyone. Where was it in Ireland?
It was in it was in Antrim. It was south of Belfast.
Oh, cool. Did you get to spend some time in Ireland while you were here, or was it literally a flying visit?
No, I was there. We were there for I was in Belfast for a couple of weeks, but I went down to Antrim for a few days.
And found out that you got the part in the movie. I can't believe you didn't tell anyone, Ophelia.
Oh, I was stood with someone as I got the voicemails, but because there was no reception
Oh, no way.
my phone suddenly had loads of messages from my American agent saying call me. So I kind of called her back, and yeah, it was very exciting.
Now, as well as actually, what's Jim Carrey like?
He's so nice. He's so lovely.
Yeah.
He's very sweet, and he's funny, but he's not as manic as people seem to think he is.
Really?
No.
And what about one of my favourites who was on screen, the legend Angela Lansbury?
She she's definitely attracting a lot of attention, I think. She's a kind of a hidden gem in there. I don't think a lot of people know she's in the film.
No.
And then suddenly you see her on the screen, you think, "Oh, wow, hi."
And do you know
So
what, Ophelia? She's still got it.
no, I know. She really has. She really has. She's very sprightly, and she's very, very funny. She's got very dry wit.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you a fan of Murder, She Wrote?
Oh, come on, everyone is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Sunday hangover TV.
I don't know what you mean.
No, of course not. Back to the film, though. The penguins in it, they're really cute. And watching it, I was wondering, how much is CGI and how much is real penguin?
I don't know how much exactly, but I know there's a lot more real penguin in there than people think.
Really?
Because when I went to go and see it with my family, my sister kept all the bits that she thought were CGI were real. And if you can, on some of the outtakes, which I think will probably be on the DVD, you can see you can see that they're real.
Wow.
So I kind of am eager. I want to get it to show my sister and prove it to her.
I mean, how hard is it working opposite penguins, though? I wouldn't think that they're the easiest animals to train.
Yes, Jim said that when they didn't cooperate, it was difficult because they'd just be running around, and it would kind of mess up the shot. But then when it did work, it was gold, so
Yeah.
it was worth it.
They were absolutely gorgeous. And another thing that was absolutely gorgeous, I was I'm always enthralled when I see this on the big screen. New York. It felt like another character. It was beautiful.
I love that you say that because it really, the way they captured it, Florian Bauhaus was the DP on it, and he really just framed New York so beautifully. They were like paintings. It was incredible. It was they kind of all of the places that we were filming, like the Guggenheim Museum and the Flatiron Building and Central Park, and these incredibly iconic buildings in New York that he was able to frame and highlight. But they didn't ever kind of become they didn't obscure the action. They were just a beautiful backdrop for it.
It was absolutely gorgeous. And what was it like living and working there?
Oh, I loved it.
Tell me.
Loved it. I've only ever been to New York before that for a week. I'd been for a week twice.
Yeah.
And so this time I was there for nearly 3 months. And I was living in the
wow.
East Village, and I'd have friends there. So it was just, I just couldn't believe it. You'd walk out of the door in the morning on your day off, and you're immediately in the hustle and bustle of everything. You think, oh, I understand why there are so many films set here and songs written about it, and you can see why so many people fall head first for that city. It's so kind of, it's just buzzing and with inspiration.
It's amazing, isn't it? What was a typical day off like for you in New York? Rub it in, go on.
There was a really great place nearby, a Moroccan cafe I went to for halloumi eggs with harissa. Oh, they knew my name in there by the end of it, so that was a bit sad. But and all the galleries, there's MoMA, and there's just taking a walk up around Harlem, and I went to 110th Street because of that song. I just loved walking around, and the people are really chatty. You can talk to people. They just start talking to you. Not mad people, like completely just much more open to talk to you than I think the stiff upper lip of the British.
Yeah, no, it is an amazing place.
No, I loved it. I would like to move there one day.
Really? Is that the aim?
Well, it's not an aim so much, but it's just, I just loved the city. I think I want to go back. It's not kind of part of a great plan. I just would like to live there on a more, just to try it out.
Yeah. Would you consider working on Broadway if given the opportunity?
I'd love to.
Really?
I would absolutely love to. Yeah, I'm grinning. I would love that so much.
What would be your ideal show?
I did cabaret when I was at school, and I played Sally Bowles, and I'd love to do that on Broadway. But I mean, Liza Minnelli's kind of, I don't know if you can top that.
No, but you could still put your mark on it. And Broadway, that'd
maybe
be cool.
I don't know. I'd anything. I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah, and last year, congratulations, Nylon Magazine, in their Young Hollywood issue, rated you as one of the 55 faces of the future.
That was very nice of them.
Yeah, what was your reaction to that?
I don't know. I told my mum.
Tell me you told somebody.
I don't know. I don't kind of go, hi, I'm Ophelia, I'm a 55 face of new. I don't. It's not. It was really flattering. It was very, very kind of them. But I don't know. It was just, yeah. I told my mum. That was it. I don't think anyone else knows.
Ophelia, going on that, I mean, Nylon Magazine, we're right, because you've got lots coming out. Most interestingly, 8 Minutes Idol. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was a great film. It was shot in Bristol, with Tom Hughes in the lead playing Dan, and it's all set in a call centre, and it's about Dan he's kind of hasn't really ever taken proper responsibility for his life, and he kind of ends up getting kicked out of his house by his mum, who's not very nice, and he ends up moving into the call centre with his cat, and he kind of doesn't really know what to do with himself until he meets Terry, which is the character I play, and she's even more wayward than he is, and he is finally able to look after someone else instead of always being looked after, and he finds it gives him some purpose in life. And it's just it's a really sweet film again, but it is a comedy, but it's kind of an offbeat comedy, and things happen that are quite bizarre, but they're just within the realms of reality, and that was a lot of fun filming there.
Brilliant. Well, Ophelia, looking forward to seeing that, and looking forward to maybe seeing you on Broadway one day.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Ophelia.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thanks, Sarina. Bye.